Hello guys, I hope you guys are doing good and I hope you guys have already watched my previous video. Okay, and in today's video, let's jump into the a concept called conditional statements. Okay, so what are conditional statements in Java? So these conditional statements are similar to the CPP. So okay, and even Python, but the syntax might change. So we today we learn about conditional statements and the loops like for loop, while loop, okay, do while, okay. So we'll just try to deep dive into these things and with an example, okay. So today let's just start with the something called conditional statements. So in Java, conditional statements are also called as a selection statements. Allow your program to make the decisions whether I should go towards left or whether I should go towards right. Okay. So and execute the different blocks of code based on the specific condition which is true or false. Okay. Think of them as a forks in the road for your code. Okay. Now let's take for an example of an if statement. The basic control statement is the if statement. It executes a block of your code only if the specific condition is true. Now, for example, let's take an age of an employee, okay, or age of a student. If the age is 20, okay, we'll check the condition. If age is 20, we'll give some specific rules, right? He is eligible to apply the vote, right? If he's less than 18, okay, he is not eligible to apply for a vote, right? So we have some certain rules, right? So whenever you want to apply any vote, right, so or you have to vote, right, so then your age should be minimum age should be 18, right? So if your age is less than 18, or you cannot vote. If it is greater than or equals to 18, then you can go for a vote, right? So such kind of conditional things we can do using if. Okay, if this condition is false. So for example, if else, there is something called if else statement. This provides otherwise option. So here, if age is greater than or equals to 18, you are an adult and you are eligible to vote. Else, what are we going to say? Else, you're not an adult and you're not eligible to vote. Right? Such kind of things we can show you. Right? And there is else if ladder. So this is like you're getting a marks. Okay, you are going use that when you have multiple conditions to checks in a sequence. Java will execute the first true and condition if it finds and skip the rest. Now, for example, you got 85 marks in one subject. Okay. If marks which you received is greater than or equals to 90, we say grade A. If it is greater than or equals to 80, we say grade B. If it is less than that, else. So first if, okay, then second if else. You're saying marks greater than 80, you're saying grade B, else you're saying grade C. Okay, now if you are clear with this topic, okay, now let's the similar kind of if if condition can be handled using the switch statement. The switch statement is a cleaner alternative to longer else if ladder. Okay, if you have many such things, right, okay, like else if ladder, right? So instead of writing such huge big logic, what you do is use something called a switch statement in Java. Okay, it comes with two new keywords like break and default. So for example, if days or let's consider 8 marks is 85. Okay, you say switch that marks or a day. Case 1 you say which day? Is it Monday or it is Tuesday? You say 2, right? 2, it is Tuesday. What is the day here? Day is 3, right? So then actually it gives you the Wednesday. It comes out of the loop since you are using the break statement. Fine. Let's check this with an example. Okay, even the switch statement, and then let's go to a next uh, operator called a ternary operator. So whatever the if statement which you have written, right, this if statement can be actually converted to a ternary operator. Okay, so for example, age is equals to 20. Let's consider age is 20. So earlier what we have written, we said if age is greater than or equals to 18, right? Okay, so you're saying you are adult, right? So same statement can be written using the ternary operator using this way. So you wanna say some string message. Okay, same thing. What you will do is, if age is greater than or equals to 18, okay, what do you say? If age is greater than or equals to 18, okay, you say you are an adult. Else you are not adult. So same condition if else, right? Else. The same if loop, you are not an adult. You're not adult. Okay. The same if else logic can be written using a single ternary operator. It is the shortened version of the if else statement. It's great for the simple assignments. Okay. I hope you're good with here. Now let's take an example. Okay. So let's go to a real world example of thermostat. Okay. Now for example, the current temperature in Hyderabad, okay, the current temperature in Hyderabad is 78 degrees and target temperature is 72. For example, we are taking not in ideally this won't be, or you can take a temperature of a person. Okay, the temperature of a person, it is ideally is right around 97 or 98, right? So let's consider it as 97. Okay, for example I'm saying, okay, don't go with the exact words. Okay, and target temperature how much you got, for example you got as 100 degrees. Okay, now current temperature is greater than the target temperature, what happens? Okay, we'll add a debug mode here. You just debug it, you will get to know if what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so when you debug this, okay, so first of all, if current temperature is 97 and target temperature is 100, so 97 is 97 greater than 100, which is false. So it goes here. If 97 is less than 100, yes, status is heating, furnace is now on. Okay. Now let me check this way. One second, I'll tell you. So here, this is taking a bit time. Give me a couple of minutes to debug this. So if you just run this, what is the output you're expecting? The output is, let's see. So your current temperature is 97, target temperature is 100. Okay. What is your current temperature? If you go to come this right, if you just go to the next line, right? So what will be the current temperature? 97. 97 is greater than 100? No, which is false. So it goes to the else if. It checks whether 97 is less than 100. Yes, right? So if you check the current temperature is 97. If you check here 97, target here is 100, which is true, right? 97 is less than true. So it will go inside this loop. It will print this to a console. Okay, it will not execute this and it will come out of the thing. If you check the console is status heating, furnace is new on. That is what it is printed, right? Okay, so this is the best example of the if else condition. Okay, now same thing using ternary operator. How do we do it? Okay, so let me break this. So using ternary operator, how do you do is the same thing I have shown you, right? So ternary operator, how do you do? So if age is greater than or equals to 18, you're saying you're adult. Otherwise, you're not adult. Similarly here, right? So string some message you wanna give. Okay. So what do you say if current temperature is greater than or equals to target temperature? You say ternary. This is question mark you use it. Okay. So this is a ternary operator. So what happens if this is greater? You are saying your status cooling is on. Okay. Otherwise, what are you saying? You're saying that status heating furnace is now on. Okay. Let me just copy this. So what you said, so this is a ternary operator. So this condition, whatever, it is a simplified form of your if and else. So you are checking if current temperature is greater than, here you are writing if, else if everything, right? So what are you saying here? If current temperature is greater than target temperature, you're saying status is cooling. Okay, maybe it's actually we cannot use directly system router println, but you can give the message here. Just a second. And you can print that message here in the bottom. This message you can print in the bottom. Okay, so what does it print? If I just comment this code, okay, and if you check here, current temperature is greater than target temperature. 97 is greater than 100. No, use it prints status heating furnace is now on. It's just like similar to your if and else if. Okay, so I hope this clears the conditional statements as well as the ternary operator. Okay, I hope you're good. If you have any questions, please drop a message in the comment. And let's jump into the next topic called conditional. After the conditional statements, let's jump into the loops. Okay. So what are loops in Java? Okay. Loops in Java are used to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as a specific condition is met. Okay. They are essentially for iterating through the data structures like arrays and array list. Okay, so these are essential to iterate one by one items in the array list. Okay, Java provides three primary types of loops. There's an enhanced version for the collections. Okay, the first thing which we can go is the current is the for loop. Okay, how does it happen? How, what is the condition for the for loop? Use this condition when you know how many times the loop should run. It consists of three parts. Okay, so this is the initialization. Okay, this is a syntax. Okay, this is syntax for the for loop, where this is the initialization, this is the condition, and this is the increment or decrement update condition. Okay, now you use this for loop when you know how many times you should run the loop. Okay, so it consists of three parts. As I told, is initialization, this is the initialization, this is the condition. I mean, this loop will run until this condition is met. Okay, now in this condition, if you check this, okay, let me take this example too. this here. Okay, I'll just comment this, and let's try to paste this. Okay, so this is a for loop. Okay, so initially you're saying I equals to 1. Okay, I will start with 1. This is the initialization you're saying. Okay, so how does it this runs? Let's check it with a while debugging. Okay, I'll show you exactly how it runs. So first initially I equals to 1. Okay, first I equals to 1, then it checks I1, 1 less than or equals to 5, yes, true. Then it will try to print that I. Okay, so then it will go to the condition I plus plus. I will become now 2. Okay, it will check again the condition. 2 is less than or equals to 5, yes, it will print 2. Okay, so yes, 2 is success, iteration 2 will be printed, and then it will go to the iteration. Now I will become 3. Okay, now it checks if 3 is less than or equals to 5, yes. Okay, so iteration plus I will be 3 will be printed here. Okay, now the next iteration. So now I will become 4. Is 4 less than or equals to 5, yes, which is true. So now the it will print iteration 4. Okay, now it will check whether, and it will increment it to 5. So now is 5 equals to 5, yes, true, right? So it will now it will become 5, and then it will become, I mean, it will try to increment it. Now 5 will become 6. Okay, now is 6 less than or equals to 5, which is false. That's why if you check it, it printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll show you how it debugs by debugging. Okay, it will be easy for you. So if you check here, I'll add a debug point here. So what I'm trying to say, initially I equals to 1. Okay, I equals to 1. It has printed iteration I has printed. Okay, that's why iteration 1 has printed. Okay, then this is initialization. This is the condition. It will check the condition. Okay, first initialization is 1. Is 1 less than or equals to 5? True. It will print the system. It will go inside the loop. It will print iteration I is 1, and then it will increment I to 2. Okay, now I has been incremented to 2. Okay, now it will check 2 is less than or equals to 5, yes. Then system.out iteration 2 has printed to the console. Okay, and then it will increment the I will become now 3. It will again go inside this loop. System.out iteration 3 will be printed. Okay, that's why it has printed console to the console. Okay, and it will increment to 4. So it will be better if I explain you using the. Okay, it has been reaching, just it is taking some time, it's okay. Will it take some time? So what I mean to say is for loop will run based on concept of initialization, condition, and the what do you mean to say? It's increment or decrement operator. Okay, so it is actually it's not, it is going in a different mode, running in a normal running mode. Even if I give debug point here, so you must have understood this, right? So first I equals to 1, I iteration 1 has printed, then I become 2, I will become 2. Okay, first the initialization, then the condition, then it will go inside the loop, and it will increment that loop. Okay, and then what happens? I will become 2, 2 checks that 2 is less than, till why it has only printed till iteration 5, because now I has become 6. 6 is not less than 5, right? So it will come out of the loop. That's it. So until it meets this condition, this for loop will be executed. Okay, we'll check the real time example here. One more example. uh, let's check the music player. Okay. Okay, so it has actually, so if you check, it has come to that position there. Okay. Okay, if you check to the console, nothing has been printed. Okay, so now I, it will print I is 1. Okay, and it has printed I equals to 1, right? If you again go to the next step, now I will be incremented. Okay, I will be incremented. Now I will become 2. It will check 2 is less than or equals to 5. Yes. Okay, then it will go to the next step again. I will be incremented. Okay, it checks the condition and comes inside the loop, which is now become 3. Okay, now I is 4. 4 is less than 5. It has checked that condition. Okay, and then now I become 5. Okay, 5 is equals to 5. True. Okay, less than or equals to we have given, right? So 5 is equals to 5. Okay, it will come inside this. Okay, that's why if you check the console, so iteration 1 till 5 it has printed, but after 5 I has become 6, right? That's why it checks the condition. 6 less than or equals to 5, no, it will come out of the loop. That's it. Okay, this executes the for loop. Okay, I hope you are clear with this, and we'll check one more example with the music player. Let's consider this is a array list. Okay, we'll go this is a one of the collection types. Okay, but collection is one of the important topic in Java. We learn about that. Now just consider this is a array list. Okay, array list is similar to arrays in Java. Okay, we learn more about arrays and array list in the next topics. Okay, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to add three of the names, some array list playlist names you're adding. Okay, some songs you have added and started profiling your things. So you're trying to iterate over this playlist now. Okay, so how many songs we have? First it will try to play, now playing first song, Behemoth, this one and this one. Okay, playlist has finished. So if you check, if you try to run this, first it will print what playlist is having. Three size of this playlist is 3. First it will print the Bohemian Rhapsody, and then Staying Alive, and then it will print Midnight City, right? So then, so again it will try to, so now playing this song, this song and this song, and finally playlist will be finished. Okay, I hope you're good with the for loop. Okay, now let's go to the while loop. Okay, so when do you use while loop? While loop use this when the number of iterations is not known in advance. Okay, and the loop depends upon a condition being true. It checks the condition before executing the body. Okay, what is the syntax for this? This is a syntax. So you say while condition, and we'll try to execute that. Okay, now for example, it count equals to 1. Okay, now while count is less than or equals to 5, you're first printing the count. Here initial count is 1. 1 will be printed here, count is 1. And then what happens, it will increment that count to 1 will become 2. Okay, if you don't increment this, what happens is this while loop will run infinitely. Okay, so what is that? So first I is 1, which is true. Now I will become 2. 2 is less than or equals to 5. True. Count plus plus, now count 2 will become 3. It will come again, come to this. 3 is less than or equals to 5. Yes. Okay, count now become 3 to 4. 4 less than or equals to 5. True. Okay, which is count plus plus 5. Count will become 5. Okay, so let's take an example here. Okay, I'll show you what I mean to say. So count initially was 1. Okay, and then what happened, it went inside this loop. It said count plus plus, so this count will become 2. Okay, 2 is count less than or equals to 5. Okay, 2 less than or equals to 5, which is true, right? It will go inside this loop. Now count has become 3. Okay, now count less than or equals to 3. Right, I mean count less than or equals to 5, this condition. Okay, 3 is less than or equals to 5, which is true. Okay, now again it will went inside this, count has become now 4, because count is 3, right? 3 has become count 4, right? So count has become 4, count less than or equals to 5. Okay, so 4 less than or equals to 5, which is true. Okay, again it went inside this loop. Now count has become 5, 5 less than or equals to 5, which is true. 5 less than or equals to 5, which is true, right? Now finally now count has become 6. Okay, now count is equals to 6. Count is 6, is 6 less than or equals to 5, which is false, so it will come outside this loop, so it will try to stop the execution. Okay, the same thing will, there's something called do while loop. So similar to while loop, but it checks the condition after the body executes. This guarantees the code runs at least once regardless the condition. So it will first checks the condition before executing this body. Okay, now for example, int x equals to 10, do system dot out println, this runs even though x is greater than 5. It checks the condition. Okay, 10 less than or equals to 5, true, then this will print this. It is like similar to the while loop, but it checks the condition after the body executes. First, it will print this body and then the condition will be checked. Okay. More, I mean, we more exactly use while and for loops in the coding. Okay. So, uh, and do while will be very minimally used. Okay. I hope this for loop and while loop is very easy to understand. Now let's go to the enhanced for loop. This enhanced for loop is similar to the for loop only. Okay, whatever we have learned here, but it's just similar to the. No, I have shown you this example, right? This is the example of the enhanced for loop. So where this same condition, same for loop, can be written in this way. Okay, for, okay, what I mean to say, condition I'll not mention anything. Okay, so playlist dot size less than or equals to 0. Okay, playlist minus minus, because initialization is already done. Okay, initialize the same for loop. This is the traditional for loop. Okay, okay, this same for loop can be written in this way, where, so I have told you, right? So what I told you, this is the initialization, this is the condition check, and then the either you increment or decrement the that update or update, right? For the, I mean you just update, increment or decrement it, right? So the same thing can actually met by this thing. Okay, the same loop, for loop. Okay, so this is the, okay, sorry to tell you, but there are something called iterators. So this, what I mean to say is the same for loop play, I mean we can, and we can learn more about this in the future concept, but this array list has a concept called not plus plus or minus minus. So generally you have a concept of iterator. Okay, so iterator, so if you check, playlist has a method called iterator. Okay, we learn about this, but so just learn that, you just try to understand that the same for loop can be written using the enhanced for loop. So this is that enhanced for loop introduced to make